Well, now I want to introduce you to another person that you may know. His name is Phil Edholm. And Phil does the local clubs and NMRA divisions for our show. And Phil, I will turn it over to you, sir.
Nice turn to meet off. Thanks, Jim. Well, this evening we have actually a very interesting guest, Scott Perry. And so, Scott, I'm going to bring you up here and add you in. And Scott and I are going to talk a bit about his role and kind of what things he's done in terms of the Piedmont Division and where they're going. And again, as always, what we try to do in talking about NMRA local divisions and clubs is to understand, what exciting things is an organization doing that can be used by other groups around the country, either to get new members, to help their members mentor, et cetera. So, Scott, why don't you talk off and tell us a little bit about your division, your role in the division, and kind of where you guys are and are going. Scott, I think I have to unmute you. You should be. There, you're unmuted. Oh, maybe not. I mean, it's a mic issue. Nope. No, try now. Nope. Click on the little arrow to the right of the mute button and see what you, down at the bottom left where the mute is, right to the right, there's a little up thing. Click on that and see which microphone you're using.
Try this one.
There, that's right? Good. That's good.
Perfect.
The beauty of technology.
Ah, we love it. I'm on like these kind of calls all day long with 5 different systems, and every time I use one, it throws something off. Thanks for having me on, Bill. I appreciate it. I've been with the NMRA since I was 14 years old. I'm 58 now, so it's been way too long. But I'm proud to be back with the Piedmont Division. I've been a part of 3 different regions and 4 different divisions because I travel for work and have moved quite a few times. But glad to be here with my friend Hank, who's also on tonight. And he's told you a little bit about our division. But the Piedmont Division is the Atlanta, North Georgia division. We've been rocking and rolling for a long time. We've done very, very well. It's a very cohesive group. My best friends are Piedmont Division NMRA members. So I'm glad to be with them. We got hit very hard with COVID. We lost 24% of our membership, 84 members, to various things due to COVID. And so I volunteered to be the director of personnel, which is membership director, to help bring back the members. I've done this kind of work before in the Northern Utah division out in beautiful Utah. We've rebuilt that division using a lot of the techniques that I'm using here. And one of the things I was glad to report at our division meeting yesterday is that we've signed on 10 new members in the last 30 days.
So, are those new members, or are they returning of the ones that left?
They are not re-rails. These are brand new members.
Brand new members. Wow.
Some of them are brand new to model railroading. They've gotten their Christmas set, or they have some things, and they're retiring. Some of them are retiring. So they're all from different levels. One is a really smart young fellow that's 13, 14 years old that I met at one of our introduction things at our booth that we have at different shows. And he was so fired up, he had to join immediately. So he brought along his grandfather and father. So all 3 of them are now new members with our group. So we have a program that we call Renew, Re-Rail, Retain. Recruit and retain. So Renew, we make sure that we don't lose anybody. So we are actively going through our roll every time we get it from the NMRA every month to make sure that if somebody's coming up on their dues that they are paying, and if they're not going to pay or they're not renewing, that I personally contact them and find out, hey, what are the benefits that you're using? And let's find out the ones you're not using. Benefits are very, very important. There's the NMRA benefits, like our partnership program. I paid off my dues using the partnership program by June of 2022, just in the discounts that I was getting. So it really does work.
Yep.
Thank you, everybody at Tichy Train Group, where I spent enough to buy somebody a new machine. But I love using those. But we have our own benefits in our division as well. We have one of the largest train shows in the Southeast that you can go to. We've done other programs. We had, matter of fact, we restarted a program last night called our Division Library. We have over 300 books in our division library, and those are available for any member to check out. And we have, these aren't just generic books. They're signed copies, some limited editions, some fantastic things. We also have a DVD library as well. So we have all these programs that we're revitalizing that kind of drifted away during COVID when people couldn't show up to meetings. So renewal is, to me, the easiest thing to do to make sure that you're not losing members that you worked so hard to gain. Yep. The next one is re-railing. We lost 84 members through COVID. So we are trying now to re-rail them. Most people don't really understand this when I say it, but we are not about model trains. We're about people. This is a people operation. This is a people thing. We're friends with each other. We're learning from each other. We're growing with each other. And I'm trying to bring this sense of people to our division and to everybody else in the NMRA, that people are what's important. And they want to be a part of this when they have a real people connection. So driving that force through it and trying to re-rail people, hey, look, you're missing out on the benefits. You're missing out on the friendships. You're missing out on train shows. You're missing out on all these things that we do together. The next part, of course, is recruiting, bringing in new members. One of the things that I've been telling everybody, Bill, we are in the golden age of model railroading. If you know Lionel Strang, he says we're all going to be, it's going to explode. We're all going to be covered in railroad goo. It is getting bigger, and it's getting more and more exciting, and people are interested. So at every train show, every museum event, everything that we can get our booth in to recruit people, we're doing. We bring along model railroads with us, so we have display layouts that generate conversation. And, we can take your money and sign you up on the spot. But mostly what we're trying to do is bring you into some of our meetings, introduce you to like-minded people. So if you're an N-scaler and you're in the 1950s, we have at least 24 people that are doing that kind of thing. So we'll put you in touch with them and build those bonds and build those friendships, get them active in the division, doing a job, doing some kind of support thing, so they even meet more people, and then locking them into that one main benefit that we all know about but can't explain most of the time, is friendship. So that's what we're doing to drive it. And then the very last part of the 4 R's is retain, making sure that everybody stays. You're happy with what we're doing, the benefits, you know about them, and you're using them. You're making friends. You're going to other people's houses. Hank told you about our Piedmont pilgrimage at one of the other segments, where we had 40 layouts available around Thanksgiving that everybody could go to and see. One of the things that really changed me when I was 12 years old was going and seeing an enormous well-done layout. I didn't know that was really possible. I saw the magazines, but it didn't sink in until I actually saw it. So we're providing that experience for members as well. So that's the program, the 4 R's, renew, re-rail, recruit, and retain, that I'm driving with the Piedmont Division that's already brought us 10 members. To regrow our division, I've got to have at least 4 re-railed or new members every month to get us back to where we were in 2 years.
So I know you do the train show and the the layout visits, but what other activities do you guys regularly drive in the division? I mean, do you have regular meetings or?
Yeah, so we have a monthly meeting the second Tuesday of every month. We're online, so if you go to our website, you can see us and you can join us as well. But we have a regular meeting that features a clinic of some type, show and tell, or bring and brag, as we call it. And you can see the book library there. You can get freebies. We give away, last night, I gave away a beautiful UP calendar that our superintendent, Perry Lamb, contributed to the group. So we're pretty active there, and we're talking about bringing back some of the other things that we used to do in meetings. We also used to do auctions, so we were kicking that around with a few people tonight. We do what's called training camps. So back in 2003, yeah, I was teaching clinics, and at the meeting I get 45 minutes, and you can teach a little bit of that, but you can't do anything hands-on. It's hard to clean up and do those kind of things. So I thought to myself, well, what we need are long-term clinics where we can bring out real skill building techniques. So I started this program called the Training Camp, which is still running to this day. And these are all-day clinics, long-term clinics, where you can come in. We've done things like learn airbrushing from the very beginning about paints through our actual portable airbrush booths and getting your hands on the airbrushes, painting, donated boxcars and things, and then doing the cleanup and everything else. We've done laser kit assemblies. Perry's done them on fast tracks fixtures to lay turnouts. We're doing one this year on Arduino clinics. And then we have one for the new folks that are coming in called Model Railroading 101, which we do on February the 4th. There's no charge for that clinic. We don't charge for them, actually. You just pay for materials mostly. But the Model Railroading 101 is a hands-on building clinic where a new person can come in and not only ask questions and learn about the basics, but actually put their hands on it. And I've found out over years of doing these things, when I tell them about something, they go home and they go, oh, that was a nice clinic. When their hands go home dirty and they got a model in their hands, they go home and build more. So that's what we're after. So we do those kind of programs as well. And then,
how do you get people to drive those? Do you find that, getting the volunteers, that seems to always be one of the issues, is getting enough volunteers to drive and do those things. How do you get them to come in and volunteer to do it?
We've been blessed with some really good leadership in these. Perry Lamb has been leading those training camps for us for some time now, and we haven't had trouble bringing in very talented people to co-teach. There's usually several teachers in there and a leader. What we do have trouble with are, those jobs that aren't so pretty that people need to do, like setting up for a train show, breaking down for a train show, cleaning up after a clinic, and those kind of things. So right now we are actively, and we used to have that, but through COVID, we kind of lost it. So right now I'm working as the personnel manager to get these people back involved. The 100 or so, or it's almost 300 people that aren't daily involved, get them back in with simple jobs. Just to do our train shows, 100 and something people that we need.
Right.
So you get free admission to the show, you get a job, you get trained, and we bring these people in and we build up their confidence in working with everybody. We're all introverts, Bill. I'm not, but all of us are. So getting people to something and talking to other people, sometimes a little bit of a stretch, but that personal touch, the phone call, hey, we need your help specifically for this job, will usually get you the volunteers that you need.
Yep, that's good. That's good. So interesting enough, it sounds like the train show actually for you guys is not only a revenue producer, but it's also a place to kind of get people started in volunteering without taking on a big job that involves a long time commitment. It's like, well, you're going to come to the train show and volunteer, and then it's an opportunity to kind of evaluate people and kind of an on-ramp to volunteerism.
That's true. Identifying future leaders, identifying future dependable hard workers. We do that during the train show, and we just have a lot of fun. I'm there before it opens and way after it closes 2 days. So are all the other guys. They're all there. Hank is working himself to death. Jim Travis, who is the other co-manager. but we have a ball, and it's a great time when you can talk to each other. So I'll bring somebody in and let them run our in-scale ambassador layout, we call it, to just show people what we do.
Right.
That generates conversations, me with him with another person. We're lucky to have quite a few women that are in our group and working. We just had a great December holiday party, and that was run by several women that are in the group, and I had a ball and ate too much. So that's what we're doing.
Cool. So one of the things that's interesting is it sounds like your boot camps are kind of a great mentoring activity. Are there other things you do to mentor and help people be successful in their model railroad pursuits?
Yeah, this is a hobby where you really need to learn from other people. I can read books all day, but it takes so much longer to develop. And with friends, you get questions asked. So one of the big things that we have going is we have a lot of operating groups they're all members of our group, but like I belong to the North Atlanta Rail Barons operating group. So we're just a subgroup of the NMRA group. So we work at each other's house. And in fact, there are 4 men downstairs working on our raffle layout for the next train show right now. So they're down there banging around. So when you hear the garage door open, that's what they're doing. But we have the North County Interchange group where they go to each other's house and learn different skills and stuff. And we've got quite a few of these arranged in the thing. I've even gone out to hobby shops and done clinics on site on Saturday mornings to teach people, whether NMRA or not, new skills and how to do things, and then to bring them into the NMRA as well. As a formal mentorship, though, we don't have that yet. And I look at mentorship as something very, very formal coming out of the manufacturing industry. But we are about to launch that, where new members or interested members are put together with somebody that's much more skilled and has similar interests that can teach them, help them with problems. Everybody comes to the NMRA as a new person with questions. They all do. And so last night I was spending some time, a young fellow joined. He wants to learn how to scratch build cars. Well, I took him right over to the guys that were doing the bring and brag. One of them had just built a beautiful G-scale coal car from scratch. I put the two of them together. Already they're best buds and exchanging information. Cool. So we're doing that kind of thing, but it's not formal yet, but it will be.
Excellent. So one of the things is for recruiting. You talked about the trade shows. Are there any other activities you do for recruiting? Is that
the ones that we do mainly are with either shows or events? Like we're doing one with a museum that's got the Museum of Civil War and Locomotive History here in Kennesaw, Georgia, does a presentation on trains, and we will be there. The Tellus Museum, which is a mining and mineral museum and a dinosaur museum, we had several layouts that came and were set up there, and we had our booth there to talk to people about the NMRA. So we signed up 3 people at that one. So we're doing those kinds of things. We're eventually going to start doing some outreach to people through electronic means. We have recently rebuilt our website, and it's phenomenal. The guys have been working heavily on it, and at great expense too. It's not cheap to do it really well. But our Piedmont Division, you can see photos and videos of every single layout that was on our program. So we've got those outreaches too. So we've got several things going, and even more ideas in the pocket.
Super. Well, kind of to close, Scott, if there were a couple of unique learnings or things that you think other divisions really could learn from what you've been doing, what would you identify that they are?
The number one, stop thinking we're a model train group and start thinking we're a people group, because that changes your focus to what's really important. Is the guy that's standing in front of you that loves trains as much as you do. And you want to bring them in and enjoy the friendships. It's hard to sell benefits. That's the number 2 one. It's hard to sell the benefit of friendship to somebody when you're standing at a train show. The best way to do that is at a meeting when you're answering questions and you're building some rapport with the individual.
So basically the idea of, and this is an interesting perspective, that you know, when you go to a train show or you're going to an event, make sure you've got an on-ramp event fairly shortly after that to invite people to, where you can get them in a different environment. And that's a good point.
That's hot on, because we've got the Model Railroading 101 showing up at February 4th. So at Christmas time, everybody got a layout. They've been to a few events. They've met us. We've invited them and put them into that, whether they're a member or not. They can come, and it costs them nothing, and they get almost a full day with top level modelers. So that brings them in. That helps us outreach to them. It lets them meet some people and make some friends.
Super. Sounds very good. Well, Scott, thank you for spending some time with us. Great ideas. I kind of, from talking to Hank earlier, knew you guys were doing some great stuff. So it was exciting to talk to you, and we will look forward to all the other great things that are coming out of the Piedmont Division. Hopefully someday I can get to Atlanta when the airlines when the airlines are able to fly again. It's not really obvious that this is a good time to fly in any way. So thanks again.
Take care. Thank you.
You're